Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my new Season 4 tier list for Overwatch 2, including the new hero Lifeweaver. Depending on when you're watching this video, he has not even been released yet. I got the chance to play the hero early in pugs with creators. Thanks to Blizzard for inviting me. I'll give you a rundown of all the heroes, including the new balance changes in Season 4. I'll talk about all the heroes, I'll talk about Lifeweaver's abilities, how Lifeweaver is going to change up the meta, and this tier list is going to be like an overall tier list for every rank. Some heroes are really good low ranks, some heroes are really good high ranks. So I thought I'd take the average of all heroes and see where they stand in the current meta, see how Season 4 plays out. There's some really interesting changes for Season 4, but let's get right into it. First up, Ana. Ana didn't get a lot of changes. In fact, the patch is pretty mild this time, not bad, because I do think the Season 3 balance patch overall was really good. There were some flaws that the devs hopefully addressed, but Ana did get a slight change, and that is her sleep dart now works less on tanks. Tanks still get slept, but they only get slept for 3.5 seconds instead of 5 seconds. So for all you tank players that hate playing against Ana, I think that's a really good change. I think it was kind of tough. Tank was really easy to sleep, right? Especially if you're like something like Ramatra and you can't really block the sleep dart other than with your shield. Ana is a bit weaker against tanks. Overall, it's not going to change her playstyle too much, right? If you get slapped, it's still really good. Ana is a solid hero, but I do not think she is S tier or meta. I think she's playable. I'll put her right in like upper B tier / good tier, okay? Ashe, no changes. I've said this last season, Ashe is a solid hero overall. If you hit your shots, if you hit your dynamite, she's really good. She's really good with the Mercy pocket. That being said, Mercy got a kind of a nerf this season, so I do think we'll see less Mercy, and in a correlation to that, we'll see less Ashe. I do think she's still very playable, especially because Cassidy got a pretty big nerf. But yeah, Ashe, solid, good tier. Not very good, not hard meta, but I do think she has her place. Baptiste got a really big buff last season, nothing changed. I think he's really solid. He's being played a lot in Overwatch League. He's being played a lot in high level ranked, and I do think he's really good in low ranks too. His immortality is insane, right? Like, he can heal the team for a ton. He has really good AoE heal. Really solid support. I will put him in meta tier. Baptiste is really good. Bastion. Bastion is one of those heroes super solid against some tanks, right? Like against the Reinhardt comp, he can shut down the tank really well. But he's also really easy to hit. He's not the greatest on high rank, but he is playable. And on low rank, I think he's really strong. One of the best DPS in the game. I will put him in very good. He's very good. I mean, if I put Ashe in good, I have to put Bastion in good too. He's not much better or worse than Ashe. He's more situational. Super solid character still. Brigitte. Any Overwatch 1 viewers in chat? You miss goats? Brig got a change to her rally. The rally rework that the devs were talking about for a while now is finally here. So when Brig rallies now, she instantly gets 100 armor herself, which is really good. If you're low, you can pop rally, you stay alive. The allies will still get the normal healing, the normal overhealth, not armor. So Brig is way more survivable. On top of that, her barrier size increased. It's almost as big as Reinhardt's shield when she's in rally. And it has a 750 HP instead of 300. That is only during rally again. On top of that, they brought the stun back. If you stun anyone with your Brig shield in rally, it stuns them. The bonus movement speed got reduced from 30% to 15% during rally, so she's a bit slower, but overall this is a really big net buff. It basically means when Brig has her shield up in rally, she is unkillable. She can stun tracers again, and because her shield is so big, it is insanely easy to stun multiple targets. The repair pack range got nerfed from 30 meter cast to 25 meters, so that is a bit weaker, but overall still insanely good. She's gonna be insane. I don't want to say she's the best support now, but she is gonna be playable. Depending on the comp, I think this meta is gonna revolve a lot around counter picks, and I think Brig is a super solid anti-dive character now, and rally is useful again. It's one of the scariest ults once more. You have to run away or you die. Easy meta tier. Cassidy. He was way too strong in Season 3. He got a really big nerf. His health got reduced from 225 HP to 200, so he's now in line with every other hit scan that is not Reaper, which is great. I thought it was kind of stupid that Cassidy somehow had more HP than any other hit scan, even though he was still really deadly long range, right? You could play Cassidy on long range, medium range, short range. He was deadly. He was one of the most dominant DPS in Season 3. Magnetic Grenade is insanely easy to use, which also got a nerf. The damage got reduced from 131 to 120. That doesn't sound like a lot, but what that means in practice is when you now stick someone with a Magnetic Grenade and you body shot them once, they will not die anymore, a normal 200 HP target. They will end up with 10 HP. Easy kill combo is gone. And it's a really big nerf to Cassidy. In the right hands, he's still a really good hit scan, but he's definitely going to be more in line with characters like Ashe, like Soldier, etc, etc. So I will put him in just a low good tier. He's still playable, but he won't be as free as he is now, where you can just like, well, good nerf, thank you Blizzard. Definitely needed. Cassidy is still good. He's not awful, but yeah. Okay. Doomfist got no changes. I don't think Doomfist is very strong. In Season 4, again, we're gonna go to Lifeweaver in a second here. I know he's not on the list. I'll add him here. Don't worry. We'll talk a lot about Lifeweaver. The meta is gonna revolve a lot around counter picking, and Doomfist has that issue where he's not really great against anything, right? Like he's not really great at diving or rushing. There's better characters. And he's not really great at peeling for his team or protecting his team. I think he's just okay, borderline throw. I think he's one of the worst tanks in the game. And in fact, I think this meta will not favor him. It's gonna make him even weaker. I will put Doomfist in the throw tier because Doomfist will also kind of struggle against the meta supports. I throw tier. Not the worst tank in the game. That's Road Dogg. Come here, buddy. He's still useless. Thank you. Let's get that out of the way. And thank you, Blizzard, for making him useless. He's not fun. He still didn't get his rework. I think that's coming sometime soon, hopefully next season. Not this season, though. At least not at the start of this season. Diva, really, really good. Really good against hit scan characters, right? Like really good to negate damage. Super playable, depending on the comp. Might even move her up to meta tier because Reinhardt also got a really, really big nerf, and Reinhardt was kind of meta this season, right? He was being played a ton. He was being played in Overwatch League. He was being played in new ladder games, and Rein was really, really strong, and he's kind of weaker now. So Reinhardt got his armor health reduced from 300 to 250, so that's minus 50 armor, and in return they increased his base health from 175 to 200. He lost 50 armor, and he's gonna get 25 HP, which is still quite a significant nerf. It's gonna make it easier to kill him. I don't think he's gonna be completely useless because that's all he's getting nerfed for, but you can actually kill him now, right? Like Rein was a monster with Lucio. It was really hard to kill him. Coordinated teams with Reinhardt were scary in Season 3. I think they're gonna be less scary in Season 4. I will put in OK tier. Echo! Echo always solid. No nerfs or buffs. I think she's really well balanced right now. One of the highest skill ceiling projectile characters in the game for sure. Kind of hard to play in low ranks, right? Like I'd say it's really hard to make an Echo work like perfectly if you're not super mechanically skilled, right? She's every hero in one technically. Upper good tier for sure. Now that I think about it, I'll put her around the lower good tier because again, Mercy is a bit weaker now. Mercy is still going to be playable, but I do think Echo still has place in the meta overall. Super playable character. Genji, Necros, Shatter. You sit on your stream and you're like, my hero is so bad. He goes into fight, kills 5. Oh, my hero is so bad. And then he goes into next fight, kills 5. Super high skill ceiling hero, but he's not that bad. Stop acting like Genji is a bad character. He's right in the middle of the pack, maybe even a bit above the middle of the pack. I think he's super playable. Like he struggled a bit in the rush meta, maybe, but not even that. I do think he's playable. Solid good tier. Hanzo, he's OP. You spam the arrows and you get a headshot and you kill them. I don't think he's super skillful to play. You can play a very basic Hanzo where you just spam the right chokes and you get free headshots. You're like, oh, guess I killed someone. Guess we win the fight. I want to put him meta almost. Junker Queen, no changes again. If you're wondering why there's not that many changes, again, I think Blizzard realized that the balance in Season 3 overall was pretty good. So they're only addressing a few pain points, which I really like. Junker Queen got no changes. She is super playable. And now with the Rein Rush was better than Junker Queen Rush. So I'm gonna go out on a whim here and say Junker Queen super playable. Definitely top 3 tanks in the game in Season 4. Junkrat, dun, 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 dun. And they didn't rebuff him, no changes. Good. Junkrat is really unfun to play against. I think he needs a rework. It's really frustrating, right? Kiriko is still insanely solid character. She's still so good. I cannot not put Kiriko in S tier. Her kit is amazing. Kitsune Rush is one of the best ults in the game. She's insanely high skill ceiling. She can do so much for the team. She can help out the DPS. She can DPS herself. Cleanse is an insane ability, one of the best abilities in the game, if not the best ability. Kiriko easy S tier, and I think this is a really good time to go into the new hero Lifeweaver. So, Lifeweaver, I'm gonna put, surprisingly, in my opinion, not as OP as the other heroes that came out in Overwatch 2. Like, when Ram came out, he was busted. When Kiriko came out, he was OP. Sojin was OP for 3 seasons, right? Junker Queen, when she first came out, was insanely strong. Like, she was a must pick. A lot of people do not seem to understand when they watch the trailers or when they watch the gameplay. He's really, really hard. You need to be really, really good with your decision making to make him work. Automatically, it's gonna make him a lot weaker in lower ranks. It will happen a lot that Lifeweaver pulls back your allies too early. So if you don't know how the pull works, it pulls people back. It's a 16-second cooldown, and you can save your teammates because during the pullback they cannot take damage, right? It's kind of like a free immortality with a pullback. So if you're really good, you can make your tank go in really aggro, and when he's about to die, you pull him back, you heal him, and he's fine, right? He has so many different abilities. He has to swap between a healing mode and a shoot mode. He's really, really hard to play. Not mechanically hard, in the sense that you need to have insane aim. Like, he's very forgiving with his heal, and also very forgiving with his damage he does. But you need to be so smart with when and where you dash. When you pull, the pull is a 16-second cooldown. It's a very long cooldown because it's a really powerful ability if you use it correctly. In the playtesting we did, we had so many fights where I got saved from like a Reaper Death Blossom, from a Rhine Shatter. You can basically save people that are out of position, but it can also backfire. If you do it too early, I also had fights where really good players like SK, like Aspen, pulled me back when I was like about to win a 1v1, and they were worried because they saw me low too. But they can't see my first person perspective, right? They don't know if I don't call it right then and there. They do not know if I'm gonna win a 1v1 against another DPS. But I was like, oh, I got this guy in a second, but then I get pulled back. So in that case, it actually helped the enemy, right? And that happened on the highest rank ever with like top 500 players. And that's gonna happen way more on lower ranks, right? The flower is really hard to use too. The flower lifts people up after they step on it. And you can do that to both teams, right? So if you misplace the flower, your tank might accidentally trigger it, or you might accidentally give an enemy high ground. It happens a ton in playtesting. I think over time people will get more used to the hero and will get better with those abilities, but he's very, very decision heavy. And the ult is not that strong right now. Like, the ult is a tree that pops out of the ground, and it's a really big healing field, and it pulses heals. But it's not like a trance where you can't die. You can still really easily die in it. It's good to like get some cover, but I don't think the tree is on a power level of something like a Kitsune Rush or a Transcendence, right? It's like when you want to draw the fight out, it's like for very drawn out fights. I don't think it's that good. It's probably the weakest part of his kit. I say Lifeweaver is good tier at best. I will actually put him in okay. And over time, I think he's gonna get stronger and stronger, not because of buffs, but because people are gonna be more used to playing with him or playing him. But for now, insanely high skill ceiling, not mechanically, but decision-making wise, and not the most impactful kit if your team doesn't know what they're doing and you don't know what you're doing. Lucio, still solid S tier. Lucio Rush or Lucio Dive is insanely good. Lucio got no changes this season, but he's solid. He's gonna work insanely well with Rush or Dive, right? So if you pick Diva or Junker Queen or something like a Monkey, or even Ramatra, Lucio is just good in most situations. He's gonna be really, really good meta easily. Mei, I think no changes. I do think Mei is a super situational character. I think Blizzard realized that they can't make Mei good in every situation. She's a situational hero. She is really good in some comps, especially with Rhine, where you wall off the enemy and get like a free charge in. But again, Rhine not as good anymore. I do think Mei is just okay. So Mercy. They reverted the healing change, okay? So the healing change is back to just 55 HP per second, no matter what, even if they're below half. So that's reverted. And they changed the Guardian Angel back kinda, so the cooldown got reduced from 2.5 to 1.5 seconds. But the jump or crouch cancels now keep the ability active for an additional 0.5 seconds. What that means is, it's now a slightly shorter cooldown, but if you do the jump/crouch cancel, it's still gonna be a total of 2 seconds. And stopping Guardian Angel with the ability input after using a jump or a crouch cancels no longer starts the cooldown sooner. So overall, it's definitely a nerf. I do think she's still going to be playable, especially on ladder. I do think she's going to be a bit weaker on higher rank. I will put her still in good tier. She's going to be solid, but not that great. Moira got a very interesting change. So you can now fade in Coalescence your ult, and the ult is going to stay active. But the movement speed bonus in Coalescence got reduced from 50% to 40%. But overall, what that really means is you can now Coalescence, and if the enemy team runs around the corner, you can shift around the corner and keep your Coalescence up. Because sometimes you also get caught with Coal and you're too close and the Rhine is hammering you. You can shift out and still keep the Coal up. You can relocate. It's an insanely big buff to Coalescence, and on top of that, the lingering healing from Biotic Grasp is now lasting for 3 seconds instead of 2. And I think Moira was already really good on lower ranks especially. I think Moira is gonna be really, really solid. I will put her in good tier, actually in upper good tier. Play her in lower ranks if you want to climb. I think the higher you go, the weaker she will get. Very easy to get into a hero, but she's pretty easy to master as well. So I do think she's going to be a bit weaker on high ranks, but if you're low rank, go ahead, play Moira. And even on high ranks, I think we'll see more Moira play this season. I hope it's not too strong. It's kind of scary sometimes. Like Orisa, no changes, super solid rush tank, right? With the Rhine nerf, I think she's a bit better again. Super playable, especially in low ranks. Solid hero. Pharah, no changes. Pharah is one of those heroes like Echo that are directly linked to the strength of Mercy, right? But I mean, Yisan makes it work every season. Rank 1 on Pharah every season. I don't know how he does it.
You can't keep getting away with it!
So the hero can't be that bad. I do think Pharah Mercy is still going to be super playable. Really, really good. Depending on if the other team has a hit scan, but like solid hero. Ramatra, a bit weaker, I think, than Orisa and D.Va with the nerf to his ult, right? Like he's a bit more vulnerable. It doesn't last forever anymore. But I do think he's a really solid tank. Not much change in that sense. He can be played in rush. Reaper, again, no changes. Reaper is like a tank buster, right? The classic case, if you ask me what hero would I pick Reaper against, it would probably be a Monkey. And Monkey is not super hard meta right now. I think he's really, really solid on low ranks. Pretty good on high ranks. Super playable. Upper good tier, for sure. Sigma got a nerf, and it's a nerf I really like. I think Sigma is super oppressive, super strong, or was super strong on poke maps, long range maps. Junket Town, Circuit Royale, right? Like, if you didn't have a Sigma there, it was really tough. Sigma is oppressive, and he has a one-shot combo, and that one-shot combo got nerfed now. So the stun impact damage, the rock impact damage, got reduced from 60 to 40, which means now 80 damage in total of the explosion and the impact, which means in practice you cannot one-shot combo 200 HP targets anymore. But in return, you also gotta increase to stun duration, so it lasts for 1.1 seconds instead of 0.8. So a slight counter buff, but overall definitely a nerf. It was really frustrating to play against Sigma. So I'll put him in lower good tier. Playable, not amazing. Sojourn. Sojourn got nerfed 69 last season, and she's still OP. I mean, she's less OP than she used to be, right? But she's still meta. She's a really hard to play hero, but if you play her well, she can still carry your team. Super solid hero. Nothing changed this season. Not as oppressive as she used to be, but still you're gonna see her a lot, especially in higher ranks. Soldier, again, no changes. With the Cassidy nerf, I do think we're gonna see more Soldier because Cassidy was really good against Soldier, right? Another thing you have to keep in mind is in Season 4, we'll have all maps back. Wow. Season 3 was very sniper-heavy maps, right? We had Havana, Junket Town, and Circuit Royale, and a lot of the shorter range maps, or the maps where Soldier was kind of good on, like Route 66, like Eichenwald, are coming back in. So that's going to affect his playstyle too. I do think he's going to be playable. Is he going to be very good? No. He's going to be okay. He's going to be like right in the middle of the pack in good tier. I do think he's going to be played more though with the Cassidy nerf. Okay, Sombra, let me just double check. I don't think Sombra got any changes. Good hero, good hero. I think they found a place where Sombra right now is pretty solid. I know there's another rework coming up eventually where they're changing her hack. I'm not sure what they're trying to do with her, but for now, EMP. Amazing ability, amazing ult, super high utility, really frustrating to play against, right? Like, the hack can now cancel something like Orisa's ult. Sombra is a very solid character. And I think it speaks for itself. I know we're not quite done yet, but it speaks for itself that we're having so many heroes in the good tier. The playing field is definitely leveled. almost everything is playable. There will still be some standout characters, right? In the last season, I think the standout characters were Cassidy and Ryan, but the balance seems really, really good right now. Symmetra is sleeper OP. The thing is, nobody plays Symmetra. At least on high ranks, there's like 3 Symmetra mains. But she's so good. Probably the best DPS ult in the game. Funny that the best DPS ult in the game is a wall. More like a tank ability. But wall is insane. On some maps like Lijiang Tower, the Night Market, she's insanely good. I think you gotta... Like, the thing is, Symmetra is a very different playstyle than other characters. So for new players, she's probably pretty hard to get into. But if you master her, she's really good. Torb, if you want a free win, and you don't want to think, and you don't want to aim, and you just want to, you know, smoke your blunt. If you're struggling against anything, you just pick Torb. You have another player, the turret is going to do their job, and you just kind of spam a joke. Torb is insane on low ranks because you get free value. People on low ranks don't even shoot the turret, and even on high ranks, it is free value. Torb is not a very hard to play character, and you're getting a lot for how little you're doing in terms of like mechanics. His ult is really good. Almost want to put him in meta, honestly. If you're low rank, play him. If you're high rank and you suck, play him. Tracer, super. I mean, I always put Tracer as the best hero in the game. I always say this every time. If you play Tracer perfectly, she's technically OP. She can't be killed. But Tracer is also the hardest character in the game. I think by far, Tracer is the hardest character in the game overall. You need to have everything of like almost every other hero. You need to have insane reaction time, insane aim, insane movement, insane combos, and insane awareness of everyone at all times, and insane focus fire. Tracer, really, really good, but I'll put her a bit lower because lower ranks are not that good on Tracer. There's nothing wrong with it. I think she's an amazing hero to pick up, and I think she can still do really well on lower ranks, but Tracer is super solid. Widowmaker felt oppressive in Season 3 because there were a lot of sniper maps, and I think on sniper maps, she's always gonna be OP. On Circuit, it's the better Widow wins. If one team has a good Widow and the other team doesn't have a Widow player, you lose. It's so hard to balance Widow. Like, if you would nerf her, then she would become completely useless on other maps. But right now, she's in that state where she's oppressive on long-range maps. And then on other maps, she's still playable and she's still really good. Now, that being said, for lower ranks, hard to hit their shots, right? But like, if you play Widow well, the only reason I'm not putting her meta is on a lot of maps that are like very brawly, like for example, Antarctica map from Season 3, she's not very good, right? Like, it's map dependent, but on most maps she's playable, and on some maps she's overpowered. Monkey, now that Rush is kind of dying down, I can see Monkey becoming a bit better and maybe Dive coming back. But that being said, I do think like a Junker Queen Rush just kills a Monkey. He's playable though. He's good. I don't want to put him anywhere below very good. I do think he's one of the better tanks still. Well, top 3 tank in Season 3 and definitely still top 4 tank in Season 4. I think is really good on low rank and on high rank. You don't have to be insane at ball to get a lot of value out of him, right? Like, he can stay alive on his own, he can create a lot of space, he can kill people on his own. But if you play insanely well, he can also hard carry. So ball, super solid tank. Zarya, I don't want to put her in OK tier. I think Zarya is also playable. The worse Ryan is, the better Zarya becomes. Like, that's the one really tough matchup for Zarya. Like, a Ryan you can't really punish on an even playing field. But now that Ryan is weaker, I do think Zarya is going to become stronger. And we'll see more Zarya. Do I think it's going to be Zarya meta? Probably not. Zenyatta, easy, very good. He is going to struggle against Rush. Right now, it looks like the meta is Rush or Dive on most maps. So he's not going to be quite meta, but insanely good character. That's about it, I think. It's kind of sad that I put Lifeweaver in OK. That makes it seem like he's one of the worst characters in the game. Like, again, I really think with Lifeweaver, the thing is, he's not bad, but to make him good, you need to play insanely well. And most other characters, you don't need to play insanely perfect to make the character work. And that is, I think, the issue with him. And until people figure that out, or until Blizzard buffs him, I do think he's just gonna be just okay. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Today, there's gonna be another video upload. It might have already happened, or it's gonna happen soon. We are gonna have a video of a Soldier and Lifeweaver combo, which is insane. Check it out if you haven't watched the Lifeweaver stuff yet. I'm gonna play a ton of Soldier this season, and I'm actually hoping for Lifeweavers on my team. That's about it. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.